My wife is going to be gone for a few days at a conference for work, and my daughter and I want to surprise her with a brand new kitchen countertop when she gets home. This old melamine countertop has outlasted its useful life and is now a health hazard. I'm going to show you how we fix it ourselves with something that looks great and works wonderfully, only for about $750. Now I'm going to be using stone that are just out in our yard and epoxy resin as well as mica powder to make a unique look. Using stone from our yard makes the project special and will give us something fun to share with visitors as the years go by. But you could use all kinds of stuff besides stones to make your project unique. If you do decide to put something in your resin, just make sure that it's thin enough so that it can be completely covered. Now this is important. Test everything. Here we are testing the different types of tape for dams, the mica powder's opacity, and how well the resin bonds to the melamine. Now epoxy resin, even though it's glue, it doesn't stick to smooth surfaces. So I'm roughing up the old melamine so it sticks really well. It's going to be pretty good if you can get that faucet off of there.
Why? So you don't have to do it?
Exactly.
But pull.
There it goes. Now I'm using some maple strips here, finished with polyurethane for a backsplash. It matches our cabinets. Now here B is cleaning up the front edge from any material that isn't bonded really well. And now B is using hot glue to seal any cracks that the epoxy can leak and run through. This is really important because this epoxy just, it just will find a hole and run and make a huge mess as well as lose a bunch of your valuable material.
You think Mom has a suspicion we're doing something?
Well, I know she knows that we're doing something, but I don't know if she suspects this.
This is a little crazy use of glass.
Yeah. This is a pretty short time frame. It's looking pretty good though, huh? Mm-hmm. I chose resin that is pretty runny and has a long working time. Plus, it is less than half as expensive as that corporate name brand that has flooded YouTube with their how-to ads. Here we are mixing in mica powder to add visual complexity and opacity to our resin. No matter what kind of resin you use, you got to make sure that it's mixed really, really well. Unmixed resin will never cure and it'll be all gooey and make a big mess.
This looks really pretty.
Yeah, it does.
Shiny! So pretty.
So this is what one layer of the brown mica powder looks like. I could easily see this being a finished look, especially if you want to kind of keep it simple. But we're going to add some copper mica powder as well and pump up the visual qualities a little bit more before we add the stones. So here goes the copper. We're adding that right over the top of the wet brown. The mica powder all on its own is really cool looking. And with a little practice, you can kind of make it do what you want within reason because it naturally just moves and reacts in really beautiful ways. I could easily see this being a finished product as well. This is just two different color mica powders kind of working off of each other, and you could even get way more creative with how you're putting it down than I am. So you can see there's a lot of potential here with just using the mica powder. And this is what it looks like as we're getting ready to put our stones down. You can push them down and push them around, but make sure they stay clean because anything that you get on top of these things will show up right through that clear top layer. All right, so it's the next day and that resin's all set. Our next step is to put up a tape dam that will hold back a deep layer of resin. We found that a combination of smooth tape and regular tan masking tape works the best. The tan masking tape really sticks well to that front edge and doesn't let any leaks through, and the smooth tape will release from the resin, and so we stick them sticky sides together and then fold over the smooth tape and then go ahead and stick those to the front of the counter. Then we have to connect the seams so there isn't any little seams. That's what I'm doing here, and B's working on the sink. And you just gotta take some time to do this and use as much tape that it needs, because you're going to be basically making a puddle of resin. And if that puddle isn't contained, you'll be wasting your product and making a huge mess. I love it how these stones just start to come alive when the resin goes over them.
Oh, that's Mom calling. Get my phone. Hello? Hi. Working.
Little surprise.
Alright, but you guys are gonna be good for picking me up and you wanted after 5.
Yeah, she's gonna be surprised.
Oh, jeez. Oh, well. We'll cover it eventually.
Okay. So it turns out that I'd miscalculated and we didn't have enough resin. We're hoping to get the whole thing covered before Dot got home, but this is how far we're gonna get. Coming down here and pick up Dot from the car rental place.
She's just coming in.
Oh yeah, there she is. She's over there.
I see her. She's right there.
What is going on in it? You did the counter. Oh my god. You guys did the counter?
I told you we're crazy.
Oh
We've been
my
busy.
god.
Do you like it? It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
Amazing.
So what we gotta do is we gotta add more resin to fill it up.
Oh my god, it looks so good. This is crazy. This is awesome, you guys.
On all of our epoxy mixes, I've been starting with the battery gel, but then I go to a regular wooden paint stir stick, and you gotta scrape the walls and the bottom really well. Well worth the time to mix it super well. Really critical. After I've taken off the tape dam and before the epoxy gets too hard, I'm beveling the edge to make it so it's easier to round down later. Here I'm putting up plastic because I gotta get some sanding done and I don't want the dust getting in the rest of the house. I also like to hook my sander up to my vacuum, so I'm collecting as much of the dust right at the point of source as possible. Now this edge was just made by a tape dam and it is a little bit wibbly and wobbly and so forth. So I'm taking this sander with 60 grit and I'm making it as smooth and flat as possible. And you can kind of see here I'm trying to sand off the high spots. There's a few of the stones that were a little bit thicker than others, and I'm taking an angle grinder. Again, I'm using the vacuum to collect as much of that dust as possible, and with the diamond abrasive blade I could really cut those right down. The resin doesn't stick to really smooth stuff and it won't really stick very well to itself, so I'm roughing it up. All of this will go completely clear with the next pour that goes over the top of it. Alright, so we got a new tape dam up and it's all prepped for the new pour. So we're on our final coat here and B and I are just going around looking for any thin areas. It's really hard to see, but by using a stick and just kind of getting down in the reflection to just fill in any kind of thin area. Now I'm removing the tape dam just as the epoxy is starting to set. This last kind of flooding pour was about 1/8, maybe 3/16 of an inch thick, and the epoxy is no longer going to kind of run and flow. It's kind of in this kind of gooey state of its setting curing time. Since I beveled the layer below this this final pour, it is just kind of rounding down right over that final edge. Now you can see there's a couple areas that are still matte that got sanded, so I'll just mix up a little fresh epoxy and take a paintbrush and go over those areas, and so the whole thing is shiny and smooth, and that is basically how it's finished. So after it's gotten a pretty good cure on it, then we can start cleaning up and getting rid of all of our protective stuff that we put down on the cabinets and the protection that we put down on the floor. Now, by the time that I'm editing this video, we've been using our countertop for about 2 months, and we're really happy with it. A lot of the information on YouTube are highly produced ads for their expensive products. And I know that my video here is probably a little harder to watch, but there are plenty of alternatives to that fake marble look. Be creative and have some fun. Personalize your projects. I'm not endorsed by any of the companies seen in this video. I'm just an independent DIY voice with an alternative to the big corporate commercials. So if this is something that you value, please give a thumbs up. Thanks, and be safe out there.